Well, welcome to the channel and the Isle of Wight Bus and Coach Museum. Let's go and have a look inside. Even before we're inside, there are interesting things, including a Bristol VR double-decker registration. Next to that, a Mercedes minibus, 508D. Looks like it's been subjected to the salty air of the Isle of Wight for a little while, I suspect. What do we have outside the entrance but a 1964 Ford Anglia 105E. This one looks super original. Faded original grey paint. Well, here we are inside the museum. Free entry, so if you're down in the Isle of Wight, get yourself down to the Bus and Coach Museum. Fantastic. There's all manner of vehicles packed into this building. They've been in here, I think it's 9 years ago that they got hold of the building. About 8 years ago that this opened to the public. This is a Bristol, a 1958 Bristol. Unfortunately, everything's got an information board next to it. So this is ex-Southern Vectis. Withdrawn in 1970. So let's have a look, see if we can get all that in. Some of the vehicles here are up and running, and other ones are destined for hopeful future restoration. I do like these museums, they're fantastic. And in front of that, we've got a mighty AEC recovery truck, an AEC Matador. Ex-World War II, 1945 build and withdrawn in 86. Not many things that wouldn't pull. GXX 785 in action. There we go. If you like your classic buses and classic coaches, please take a look around the rest of the channel while you're here. The Dennis Ace. Let's just have a look at the back of the AEC. This is a Bedford SB3. Very stylish looking machine. Huge one-piece windscreen on this one. You can see all the roof lights set into the roof and down the middle and on the edges of the roof. Bit of information, Bedford SB3, Paul's Tours, 1964, March 64. The company itself began operating shortly after World War I, when Harry Paul, encouraged by his son, who was also called Harry, developed the charbang business, while operating from the family-run Beeper farm, situated off the Ride to Brading Road. Down here we've got more of the vehicles that are up and running, beginning with this wonderful 1930s Dennis Ace. A bonneted Dennis. Sometimes you see a similar style lorries with that front end used as gully emptiers, that kind of thing. What a Bobby Dazzler that is. Thanks to the museum for giving me the okay to video in here. Like I say, it's all free entry, so get yourself down here if you can. So withdrawn in 1958, Bedford petrol engine, 28 horsepower, 20 seat. And alongside that, probably my favourite of all the old coaches, the duple-bodied Bedford OB. These are just beautiful things. We used to go holidaying in South Wales, not far from Cardigan, and in Cardigan there was the Richards coach company, and there was a pair of these dumped outside one of their sort of garages in a little village called Mulgrove, and they were mouldering away for years, and every year we'd go on holiday there, and there were two of these just dumped outside, and I always remember those, and I think one of them at least went on to be restored. But what a beauty that is. Maybe a few people actually watching this video will remember travelling maybe to school on such a bus as this. Let me know in the comments if you've got any happy memories of these older coaches and buses. Let's have a look at the information. So this is 1949, and withdrawn in 1957, so it was only actually in use for a mere 8 years. Over here we've got a selection of double-deckers, a Bristol VRT, 1971. Back of another one here. What's this? A Bristol K5G, 1947. Can you see the back of this one? Maybe we can get around the front. Got a modern Leyland, or modern to me anyway. Not quite sure what that is. Leyland Leopard, 1982. Again, this one was only used for 9 years, so maybe coaches don't actually have that long a life before they get pensioned off. It's amazing how any of them survive, really. A whole myriad of photographs up here. These enthusiast-run museums are just fantastic. Seaview Services Limited Tours. This is Bedford YRQ, 1972. If you're collecting buses, coaches and so on, you do need a nice tall building to put them in. There's the front of that Leyland. What's that, a Leyland National? Yep, I remember these driving around. So this is in 1976. And this is that Bedford YRQ. So that's a 71 plate, entered service March 1972. Interesting, they went back to a two-piece windscreen. Same on this old Leyland National. God, look at those. Fantastic old Bristol double-decker bus there. Just such characterful things, these half-cab double-deckers and coaches. Absolutely wonderful. Behind me here is this open top bus, another Bristol low decker MDL 954. This one looks like it's just come in from somewhere. Shell necks. Let's see what this one is in front of the low decker. Moss Motor Tours Limited, Bedford Duple. Bedford obviously made the chassis, Duple, the coachwork. And again, what a stylish beauty that is. Moss Motor Tours of Sandown. What a stylish old bus that is. ODL 400 duple Vega Bedford SBG of 1957. These chassis were built between 1950 and 1986. Simple, lightweight yet rugged chassis. Over 54,000 of the type were built. Wow. Again, just such an eye-catching, stylish vehicle. You didn't need to go, it'd be much simpler just to make something square and boxy like they do now. But just look at that. Got a curved, this really curved glass. They were getting the hang of doing curved glass by this point in time, so they're certainly making the most of it in the designs of the buses of that era in the 1950s. I mean, here is their workshop area where I can see 3 vehicles being worked on. Over there is a chassis, it says 1920s Daimler, sole surviving bus of the original Vectis bus company, Dodson's. Rebuilding of the Dodson single deck body will commence shortly. Please help with a donation to help with restoration. Very neat looking engine. Solid rubber tyres on the back. It has got a differential, so it's got a standard drive to the back end, but solid non-pneumatic tyres front and rear. In the middle here we've got a 1960 Bristol. This is an FS6G, delivered 1916, withdrawn in 1978. Next to the Bedford Vega, duple Vega, we've got another half cab here. This is a Bristol LL5G of 1951, withdrawn in 1966. Then it went to a deal at Hedge End, found a home with builder Reed and Malik of Salisbury for staff transport. Bought in 1973 for preservation, resold and completely restored since January 2000 by its present owner Bill Stewart, who's loaned it to the museum for your enjoyment. It's not lovely. In very close attendance, so this lovely half cab Bristol. Here's another Bristol. There's a huge contingent of Bristol buses here. This one dates to 1959 and served for 20 years before being withdrawn. And it looks like we can go inside this one. Let's just have a quick peek under the bonnet there, the Gardner diesel engine. Oh, my youthful assistant is sat inside now. Greetings. Let's go and have a look inside. Just jump in. Oh, the Bristol low decker. As the name suggests, these were set with the upstairs floor set quite low. It reduced the headroom a little bit down below, but it was designed in order to get under low bridges. Hello. Smoking prohibited. We've got a rear-facing bench seat here right behind the driver. It's a bit dark in here. Can we see inside the cab? There's a driver's eye view. Let's ascend the stairway. There we go.
Two things I've noticed, and I've only noticed these because I'm your son.
Yeah.
Nice little writing on the odd lamps.
Really? What sort of writing?
And lights.
Alright.
It's upside down, so yeah. And the second thing.
Details. Oops.
Stickers.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can tell I've been trained by you to notice these things.
Coachwork by Eastern Coachworks. That's ECW, Lowestoft.
Also nice and chunky surround around the...
It's all nice heavy castings, aren't they? This sort of thing. Built to last. No, they don't make them like they used to. Right, let's go down. Let's carry on walking around here. We've got lots of lovely old signs here for Moss Motors full day tours around the island here on the Isle of Wight. We've got another grill up there off another one of those Vega bodied Bedfords. Just lurking. Well, Duple is the coach builder, yeah. And the Vega. Yeah, well, Duple is the coach builder. And Vega is the name of the body. Ooh, we've got some goodies for sale. What have we got here? 2-gallon petrol can. Shell Motor Spirit. Is it?
That's the Shell Max top, not just the Shell.
Has it got a date on it? We'll have a look underneath for the date. 1935.
Pre-war, but yeah.
So April 1935.
It's a good one.
Yes. What do we have here? Another Bristol. We seem to be approaching a shopping area. Tucked away in the corner here is a neat little minibus based on a Ford Transit 1984 converted into a bus. It's got a bonny little thing, isn't it? Again, the sort of thing that you probably would have seen quite regularly back in the 1980s, but now, where have they all gone? Apparently it's safe to come in here. The seat coverings remind me of some of the rubber bumper MGB GTs. They are the seat coverings very similar to that, and the deck chair seating in the late. Got a bit of roof ventilation. Again, I think this is another one that's destined for restoration one day, but in the meantime is preserved here in the museum, which is great to see, because if people don't preserve these things, you know, it only takes a moment to chop them up and then they're gone for good. Do not distract the driver's attention whilst the vehicle is in motion.
No standing.
No standing.
Sit down. Oh.
Just had to have another look at my favourite, the Bedford OB. Just wonderful.
You do like it, don't you?
I do, I just think they're wonderful.
That door on the side.
Yeah, that's where the side entry door is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, of course it is. Sliding there.
Well, that's a really interesting place, because in between all the vehicles you've just got all this memorabilia, all these tour guides, posters, signs, rucks of photographs. Everywhere you look there's just something relating to buses and coaches, either here on the Isle of Wight or generally, mainly on the south coast. This wall here has a potted history of bus and coach operators in the area going way, way back. Star Motors, for example. Coombs Brothers, Fountain Coaches, Colsons. We've got a 1929 Dennis there. What a beauty that is. Another 28 Dennis. So many different operators have come and gone, but they're remembered on this wall here. There's a nice Bedford duple. Yep, if you like your old transport, old buses, vehicles in general, and make your way down here. It's at the end of Park Road, not too far from the front, here in Ryde on the Isle of Wight. It's well worth the walk over. Oh, I think we've been around pretty much everything here at the Isle of Wight Bus and Coach Museum. I hope this short video was of interest. Please let me know in the comments and have a look around the rest of the channel while you're here. We have visited many museums over the last few years, so if you've not checked out all the videos on the channel yet relating to cars, commercial vehicles, PSVs, like buses, coaches, etc., please have a look, and there'll be more videos along very soon, so bye for now. This is the engine room. This is where engines that needing work come into, and then when they're ready to be restored, they go off to be restored, then reunited, hopefully, with the vehicle that they came out of. Big old Gardner diesel engines here. The Bedford 5 litre petrol at the end there. Enormous Daimler grille there. Front end of a low decker. Many signs everywhere you look, including a lovely old cast iron, or cast metal anyway, bus request stop, Southern Vectis. Lovely jubbly.
Otherwise I would have